Here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks, Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to what would we call? We tape on Wednesday. Should we call it Whack Wednesday, Axe Wednesday?
Well, the axe hasn't fallen for a while.
Hasn't fallen yet.
Well, it's not going to fall for a while.
That we know of.
It's not going to fall for a while.
I think it will fall soon, and I'll tell you why. The one reason why, because of course, Leroy Lucero, Michael Carlisle, Red Menace TV. You had Jeff Grammer on the radio show yesterday. Great interview, by the way. Jeff Grammer did a great job, and you guys always do a great job. Of course, and he did talk about the fact that a lot of these coaches that basically every sport except for men's and women's basketball and of course football know that there's a possibility that the Axeman could come visiting, or the Angel of Death, whatever you want to call it. But he said something that, I don't know if you noticed when he said it though, he said the coaches that are in there, they want to know as soon as possible.
Sure.
Because I don't want to go and sit there and go into a kid's living room and tell his parents, oh yeah, come to UNM, blah, blah. Yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, we got the...
No, you're absolutely right on that. That's why the university kind of set a self-imposed July 1st deadline. I think we probably do know before then, but it's probably not something we're going to know by Friday or next week or the week after. It is probably going to be
I've been trying to
why?
tweet Eddie Nunez, but he doesn't respond. I keep trying to find out.
Wow, just add him to the long list of people who ignore you on Twitter.
Yeah, that's not a good
I'm in
number.
good company.
Eddie Nunez and Daniel Libet. I mean, that's.
Oh, there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, you're
Leroy.
probably right.
Don't kid yourself.
Oh yeah, I forgot Rick Wright.
I mute you quite often.
Oh, do you mute me
always
quite
go,
often?
always go back and unmute you. But yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
of course, because nobody likes to hear the guy that's always right.
Or you.
Hey, speaking of someone that maybe doesn't want to hear us or tweeting, Sebastian Noel of Proview Sports will be here. Of course, we're going to discuss some of the stuff as the conversation gets heated whenever you start talking about cutting sports. And I get it. I get it. People have passion, right? I mean, their passion doesn't necessarily equate to them going out to the stadiums and arenas to watching these sports because the attendance is for most of them. I mean, I'm just being realistic here. But, you know, he was very passionate about saving men's soccer. There's a lot of people on Twitter right now that are very
absolutely. Look,
passionate
I don't want to see. I'm not a soccer guy. I don't want to see soccer cut. The problem is, whatever the sport you're considering, whether it's soccer, and we'll just name sports for the sake of baseball, tennis, whatever. There's going to be people who don't want to see it cut. In a perfect world, you don't cut any sports. I don't think new President Stokes and Eddie Nunez are kicked back in a boardroom with their feet on the tables, cackling about how many sports they get to cut. They don't want to cut sports.
No.
But when you're consistently finishing in the red as an athletic department, and it's been 8 out of the last 10 years now, at some point in time, something's got to change. Unfortunately for UNM, it appears at this point that's going to be cutting sports.
And let's also not forget, and I don't want to go too political. I know you guys did for a minute on the show yesterday, but jokingly I'm saying it. But we're one of the poorest states, if not the poorest state in the nation.
Sure. Well, no, I wasn't going political. I'm just stating facts. That, look, there's not a lot of
money,
people or corporations in this state. Now, there are some that can be big-time donors. There's a reason from the pit renovation until the time Wise Pies came along that there was no sponsor for the pit. They went with Wise Pies. Wise Pies was willing to step up and pay some money. It was considerably less what UNM was hoping for, but some money is better than no money. So they took that. That went fine for a few years. No matter what people think about that deal, UNM didn't lose money on it. They got the money that was owed to them. When a better opportunity came along with Dream Style and more money and more sponsorship throughout athletics, they went for it. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of Dream Styles in the state of New Mexico.
You're saying there's not a lot of dreams in New Mexico?
Oh, there are a lot of dreams. But no, look, in all seriousness, there just aren't a lot of those companies that can step up and be big-time sponsors. If there was, University Stadium would have a big sponsorship on it. The soccer stadium, everything. The hill that the ski team skis on would be sponsored by something. Unfortunately, there just aren't a lot of those.
Right. I mean, and it's like, I'm the same way. I mean, if it were up to me, sure, fund them all, let them play, let them do the things. I mean, it doesn't bother me one way or the other because I, like the majority of the population in Albuquerque, don't attend any of the events. I don't have any kind of passion towards them. I do a little bit towards football, a little bit. And basketball.
But when cross country wins a national championship or the ski team wins a national championship, you make a point of noticing it. Hey, UNM won a national championship. Now, you may not be having parades in the streets or anything like that, but it's still a source of pride. You know, even if you don't go to those sports, yeah, absolutely. When soccer was in the championship,
that was fun. I did watch that game.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, people still get behind it.
Sure.
You don't want to see kids who came here to play a sport find out their sport's being cut and they've got to look elsewhere. You don't want to see coaches have to look elsewhere for jobs because their sports are being cut. Unfortunately, at this point, to balance the athletic department budget, UNM's running out of options.
Right, and here's the thing. You're going to have to cut something or everything falls apart. I mean, isn't that basically what it comes to?
At this point, it sure looks that way.
I mean, you're an adult. You've been an adult for years. I mean, you've had to make budgets before.
Sure.
You've made a choice. It's just like, do I eat or do I watch TV? Oh, sorry, cable's got to go because I need to eat.
I used that analogy yesterday. I used it in terms of a divorce, but you can use it, you lose your job, your financial situation changes, and you're an adult. You're either family or by yourself. You make choices.
Right.
All right, I got to shell out this much money in bills. This is what I got coming in. Do I want to keep the cable package with all the movie channels? Maybe I want basic cable. Maybe I cut the cord. Maybe I can be like the majority of other people in this country and not have a landline for my phone anymore. you have to make this. Maybe I don't need this expensive car. Maybe I should get something that's better on gas, and I can get a more affordable payment. You have to make those choices.
You don't like them.
No, you don't. But UNM is kind of in that situation.
And they're forced into that choice now. It's no longer we're hoping that things can get better. Maybe we could do this. We're hoping not. And,
Sure.
I'm going to say this, okay? For 30 years, I started out in radio basically close to 30 years ago. I've done internet, now I'm doing television, and all this. And 30 years ago, Dennis Franchione was a coach, and the talk around everything that I talked about 30 years ago was buy football tickets, buy football tickets. It'll help UNM basketball get better. It'll fund all these sports. That was 30 years ago. Every medium that I changed, I kept saying the same thing. A few years back, 17 years ago, when we started the redmenace.com, we started a program where we would get people donate money, buy tickets for Yaffle kids, and I caught so much hell for that. And I kept saying, this is the only way we're going to be able to fund these non-revenue sports, these Olympic sports. People just they didn't want to do it. I got ripped left and right. I finally gave up. I have given up on that. I'm telling you right now, nobody bought the tickets, nobody listened, nobody saw. The golden goose that was the pit is dead, it's mortally wounded right now. Maybe it could come back. Paul Weir has an opportunity. Nobody bought football tickets, and now the reality has finally set in. It took 30 years, but it has happened, and now sports are going to have to be cut.
Look, much like there are not a lot of big industry and stuff that can, support teams, buy sponsorships. Not everybody in New Mexico can afford to join the Lobo Club and make donations that way. You're right. There are other ways. Go to football. Go to basketball.
Yeah.
Look, and I think near the end of last season, you started to see an uptick in people inside the pit. Buy basketball tickets.
Absolutely.
Things like that support all of athletics.
Right. If you don't like, if you're like the majority of Albuquerque and don't really care about some of those sports, and I shouldn't say care, you don't attend any of those sports.
Not everybody.
But you do like basketball.
Not everybody's driving up the mountain to watch the ski team.
But you do like basketball.
That's fine. You want the ski team to be successful.
Sure.
It's a national championship winning team. When you buy your basketball tickets, when you buy your football tickets, that helps everybody, including the ski team.
Join the junior Lobo. Have your kids. And if you don't have the money, even if you go buy football or basketball tickets and go to the games, you're helping the entire program. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with Sebastian. I want to say Sebastian Janikowski. I don't know why.
He's so going to kick your butt, dude. I can't wait.
Who's that?
Sebastian.
Janikowski?
No.
He's the only one that has a chance. There's no butt to be kicked. I got reality, dude. I got reality.
Looking forward to this.
There's no argument. There's no
this.
argument. And here's the sad thing.
gosh.
Here's the sad thing. You agree 100% with me. You're just afraid to say it. We'll be back right after this.
Comes Atkins as he'll send two in motion, including Williams. Atkins, he can move, gonna fire on the run, and Atkins gonna go for it. Oh, he had the pump fake and the bite as Kelly will celebrate. Holbrook's gonna hand it off again to Kelly, and he makes his way. As Holbrook takes a low snap, fires Holbrook to the end zone. Yes, holding on. It's a touchdown. Holbrook going to hand it off to Kelly. Kelly makes his way to the 5 and all the way in. Take it to Brown. Atkins going to fire to the end zone. It would be a tough catch if it is. That's Bray in motion to the far side. Davis gonna go deep. He's got him. Dello Davis. Touchdown. Right up on the near side. Reese Jr.'s in motion. Morales pumping, fires, and so it's tipped. Oh, and Reese Jr.'s gonna get a free. There's two in motion on the far side. Here comes the blitz. Atkins steps up. Look out. He's got a lot of speed, and he points out a block. Atkins going to take it all the way. He takes it the distance. It's a 28-yard touch. Handoff is to Bray. And Bray's going to go the other way. He's going to pick up a block from Holbrook. Look out, Antonio Bray.
I want to congratulate our first customers at our brand new facility right here at Gala Chevrolet, the Jose's. And how was your experience?
It was awesome and great.
What'd you end up buying?
We bought a 2018 Chevy Silverado.
And how would you say the experience was overall?
I bought all my cars here at Gala Chevrolet, and we couldn't wait for the new facility open, and all the people really treated us well.
Well, on behalf of Gala Chevrolet, we say thank you, and we'll see you soon right here at Gala Chevrolet.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Hey, New Mexico, come check out the newly remodeled guest rooms of the new Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center, featuring 309 rooms, 30,000 square feet of meeting space. New Mexico's only indoor water park featuring the Wave Runner. 2,200 square foot fitness center with hydro massage chairs. Also enjoy breakfast at our new Manzanita Grill and watch your favorite team play at Altitude Sports Bar and Grill. It's all at Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide coaches award program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV. Leroy Lucero, Michael Carlisle, and we brought a friend of ours, Sebastian Noel. Of course, you see him here on Proview Sports constantly. He's part of the Gladiators programming now. You've done, you do the high school game of the week along with Adam Deal, and you also do broadcasting of many sports yourself. And we talked about
UNM soccer, Leroy.
You do. Okay, but I don't watch that, so I wouldn't even know. I mean, so what came up is on Twitter the other night when this was the rumors started that UNM soccer was one of the teams that was going to be possibly eliminated, and we kind of had a heated conversation via Twitter. And I said, well, why don't you come on the show and we'll discuss it? And then so I wanted to, and just to be fair, now it was via Twitter. I didn't go through Mercogliano or the SID offers, but I did invite President Stokes, I think her name is, as well as Eddie Nunez. I've been trying to get Eddie Nunez on the show for a while now, but for some reason I keep getting blocked on that, which is fine. But I've invited all kinds of people to talk about this. But you were the one that were very passionate about it, and I thought it'd be fair to have you on the show to talk about that. So what's the passion with the UNM soccer? And And then that's the first question. And the second question is, are you against all sports being cut at UNM or just UNM soccer?
I think I would be against all sports, but let's start at the main campus, which is, since you brought the names up, right? The Board of Regents and past presidents, past administrations, they've allowed this to happen. And for them now to blame the media on things, what's been going on at those Board of Regents meeting has been grandstanding at its highest. They have pencil whipped Paul Krebs' phony ticket revenue proposals for years. And so now they're just grandstanding. And now you have an AD and a president that want to do things the right way and that want to try to balance the books a little bit. And main campus is basically just washing their hands of it. Now it's an athletics problems. You fix everything now. When really they've been complicit in this. This hemorrhaging that's going on at the department is their doing. And I think they should have some skin in the game still.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you on that. And I was talking with Jeff Grammer on the radio show earlier this week. You're right about a lot of grandstanding in these Board of Regents meetings. And, you know, my point was, well, they've been just signing off on these budgets for years, hell, for a long time. The athletic department really wasn't even expected to finish in the black. So now you're to the point where sports may have to be cut, belts are going to have to tighten. There's going to have to be a lot of change with the athletic department. Where's the accountability? So, because the Board of Regents, who you're answering to, are the ones, like you said, Sebastian, that have just been signing off on this and turning a blind eye for the last 10 years.
How can a state institution not have had any checks and balances on one individual, that being Paul Krebs? I just don't get it.
No, and it is a mess, and there is no doubt about that. And I look at the President Stokes. I don't know why I keep having a hard time with that name. And Eddie Nunez, they're now brought in, and that was done backwards too. I mean, usually the president's in place, then you bring in the AD and the coach. We did it backwards at UNM, brought in Paul Weir, then Eddie Nunez, and now President Stokes. But now they're left trying to figure out, first trying to figure out what all is wrong. What's that smell? Why does it smell like a cesspool in here? And now we're going to have to try to clean it up. All right. And obviously at the meeting, was it Tuesday? President Stokes said she doesn't see any way that a sport or two, well, she didn't really give a number, sports would have to be eliminated. And it's something that's happened at UNM before. It's been a while, but it was a couple of decades ago. But the sports have been eliminated, men's sports, successful sports, by the way. That were eliminated. Men's gymnastics was pretty special here under Rusty Mitchell, I think his name was, and they had to cut it because of Title IX, and they needed to, tighten that belt. And now we're here once again. So, soccer, I think, was the main one that you were most upset about as the rumor coming out.
Yeah, and I think Coach Fishbein did a good thing, which is get it out there.
Sure.
And but. The budget hasn't been accounted for or broken down by sport in years past, right? So
That's true.
So when you say that, oh well, football's making money and this sport's not making money and this sport doesn't get, and we don't know any of that because they haven't accounted it in that way in the past, right? We're only assuming.
Well, and just to be fair, and I think Carlisle, we spoke about this yesterday on the radio. I don't think football's making money. I just think that football's keeping UNM in the Mountain West Conference. I think there's a difference.
You're not getting rid of football.
Right.
Because
which no one's advocating for. That's reasonable.
Well, okay, that's reasonable. Okay, fair enough on that. Because you're right. You're not going to stay in the Mountain West Conference if you dump football. So you lose whatever TV money you get from the conference.
1.1 last year, 1.1 million.
You also lose, and this is something people forget about. Remember Nevada's nice run in the NCAA tournament? The conference gets that money spread out. It's like 5 or 6 years. So you leave, you get all that. You forfeit all that, plus money from past NCAA tournament appearances from the Mountain West. Again, that's split up per year. They're not going to continue to pay you that.
And bowl
games
money
as well. And nothing against UNM, but look at the landscape of college sports. What conference is going to open up their arms for you? And look, you'll find a conference. It might be the Sun Belt. It might be the WAC. But where are you going to get that money? Okay, so sure, you cut football, but you're also losing out on so much more money.
Right.
Plus football, and this is kind of debatable, well, not debatable, but it's kind of a hot button issue. That's the sport where you have the potential to make so much money. The problem is you've had that potential for years and you haven't been able to realize it. Does there come a point in time where that potential is just not a reality anymore? Personally, I don't think we're there yet. but we might be getting close. At some point in time, you got to consider that.
And I think Leroy, and correct me if I'm wrong, but
Sure.
I seem to get the impression from you that if we cut all these other sports and we dump some more money into football, you're going to wake up one day and we're going to be Texas A&M.
No.
So
Here's the thing. UNM's got to pay back money that they already owe.
Sure.
Okay? So and while they're trying to pay that back, they're accruing more debt. So we have to cut 4 to 5 sports. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. I haven't really thrown it out there because I've been mixing it in my head. We have Paul Weir right now, pretty much bargain prices, correct? I mean, would you, as far as the basketball coaches in the Mountain West Conference, all right, he had a successful first year. He's going to, I believe, successful for UNM standards.
Sure. No. The reason I rolled my eyes is because you were a big Craig Neal hater, which is fine. Craig Neal had a very successful first year
right,
as well.
Yeah.
So
a whole different.
Well, no, it's not a whole different. Now, we'll see how it plays out in time.
Right.
But you compare first year Neal, first year Weir. No, actually, Neal did a little better. He actually won the conference tournament. But
yeah, that's a different debate, but go ahead.
No, it's the same.
Okay.
I'm with you. I think Weir's going to be a good coach. I do think the program's going to turn around. But a lot of people thought the same thing after year one of Craig Neal as well.
Yeah, a lot of people did. A lot of people were wrong. But here, so let me just go on with what I was going to say real quick. Other schools are going to come sniffing around because that's just the life of a mid-major. I mean, if your coach is successful, they're going to come sniffing around. UNM will have to give him a raise soon, if they want to keep him. Or, we go gamble again and hope that we find another young up-and-coming coach for another year or two. Okay? UNM's going to have to find money to give that man a raise. Now, some people, with the Bob Davies situation, they want him to be canned or be successful, whatever you want, whatever side of the aisle you're on, I don't care. All right? Whatever anyone thinks. They're not going to fire him because they don't have the money for a buyout. I think we've established that. We've talked about that till we're blue in the face. So we're here because there's no money. Part of the reason that they have to cut, in my opinion, and obviously President Stokes agrees with me, that they have to cut is they have to find a place to make some money. Okay. Not just to pay back what they owe, but for future as well.
The biggest stench of the Paul Krebs regime that's still around is right there at that football stadium. It's right there in Bob Davies' office, okay? So if we want to cut, if someone needs to have some skin in the game, it's that man's football program.
Okay.
Because Bob Davies Paul Krebs created that monster.
Okay.
And now Paul Krebs is gone. Davies still here. Yeah. And in terms of percentage of the athletic budget, you could pay back more money that's owed from trimming the fat of the football program versus eliminating the entire soccer program. If you believe the numbers online, I think I saw last night. Did you see that 200,000 figure that I think somebody was talking? If that's the entire budget of the soccer program, that's nothing.
That's not the entire budget. Look, I don't agree that football should be cut. I do agree with you.
I'm not saying that.
Right. But I do agree with you. For a lot of people, don't like Bob Davies, especially after the 3 investigations last year and all that.
But you can't fire him. You can't afford to.
No, I agree. I'm not advocating that either.
But that's your problem. If you want to make football a moneymaker, you're asking people to go out and support a team that's coached by a guy they don't like, and a lot of them don't think he should be here.
I agree. Look, we had this situation with basketball. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Nobody was going to come back to basketball because they despised Craig Neal. I don't know if it's that point. I mean, it sounds the way you were talking, Sebastian. You're kind of at that point with Bob Davies. I think there's plenty of fans out there that maybe feel that same way. I don't know that UNM can afford a buyout for Bob Davies. They couldn't.
They absolutely can.
And we remember they didn't want to buy out Craig Neal. If you remember, they did not want to fire the man. They just got to the point that they had to. Does UNM get to that point? I don't know. But I know they don't. And once again, soccer isn't the only sport that they're talking about cutting. They're talking about cutting, I'm thinking 3 minimum.
4 is the number I've heard.
4.
But yeah, those numbers again, they just don't add up to the kind of money you can save by trimming fat at the football program.
Right. That's part of the problem. None of the numbers at UNM add up. No, seriously,
they're not even written down.
Right. And every time they show numbers, they're different than before.
They change.
The ticket projection thing they showed the Board of Regents yesterday was completely different than what it was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I mean. And look, I realize Eddie Nunez is in a tough situation. He's less than a year on the job. He's trying to figure everything out. But geez Louise, I mean, how can you, in 2 weeks' time, be so different on numbers? And the appearance I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. The appearance is they just show whatever numbers they need to show to appease whoever they're showing them to.
Yeah, that could be. Now, I'm gonna agree with you on this, Sebastian. I agree that some of the fat of football should be taken out. I don't disagree with you at one point.
By the way, I think it will be. I think.
Yeah, I think,
with
and
all
I
the
think they
sports.
said that.
Yeah.
I think they said that. They're obviously not going to hire. I was talking to in the SID office. They're not going to hire people there. They're not going to hire a lot of these behind-the-scenes people that currently their positions aren't filled. They're not going to fill them because they can't afford them. Okay, so that money is going to be saved, I guess. But I also think that they're going to cut 3 to 4 sports, and they have to. And I don't care what sport it is. I was just talking to a very good friend of mine. He's a big baseball fan, and he says, and he's a big booster. He's a booster here at UNM, and he said the same thing. If they cut baseball, I'm done, right? Because he loves baseball. I go, what about soccer? He goes, I don't go to soccer. I don't really care, right? Well, and you like soccer, so mostly, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We know that Margaret Branch gave $30,000 for equipment for the women's cross-country team. She probably likes them. If they cut them, she would probably be upset. We know from last year when they said they were going to cut the ski team, those people got upset. No matter what's cut, someone's going to be upset.
So let's talk about soccer then.
Yeah.
I think it has the potential to be self-funded. You have some guys starting to go on to the MLS now, right? And the average MLS salary, surprisingly, $350,000 a year. I was shocked by that figure. So when you start seeing the Chris Weehans, you start seeing some of these guys going to the next level. Aaron Herrera, who is under the Team USA camp. You have a couple of guys on the roster now that potentially can do that. If the budget is as small as we think it is at soccer, those guys can scratch a check, and I think they would. And we're not asking soccer to be a moneymaker like your mythical football team is going to be someday when you wake up. We're just asking it to be self-sufficient. And I think it can be. And it was before it joined Conference USA. Did you know that, Leroy? Yeah. Before they switched to Conference USA.
But they're Conference USA now because there is no Mountain West Conference
soccer. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you have to somehow find a landing spot for all your other sports, at least you have a foot in the door with Conference USA.
Fair point. Look, I actually agree with you. I think soccer could be a self-sustaining sport. I think it would take work, but it could be. When you're talking about cutting teams, you look at the success soccer has, there's no doubt that's been one of the most successful programs at UNM, over the last 15, 20 years.
Absolutely.
And you certainly don't want to see a sport like that cut. That was one of the things people brought up last year when it was announced skiing was going to be cut. Well, that program won a national championship. You don't have a lot of national championship trophies over at UNM. How can you cut that team? Look, tough decisions are going to have to be made. And what we're getting, and I feel like you're getting closer to it, we're starting to pit sports against each other. Well, if it's not going to be soccer, it's going to be baseball. And well, look, all these sports are in the same situation. They've got this cloud over their head. They don't know what's going to happen. They know they're being looked at. I don't think and it's hard not to do because it's human nature, but it's not fair to pit these sports against each other. They're all on the same side. They want to keep playing, and, they may get cut. And you can make an argument for any team out there, whether it's soccer or baseball or swimming or diving, to cut them. You can also make that same argument to keep them.
And you take a look at national trends with soccer. Soccer's growing in North America, and there's no
at the professional level.
Okay, yeah, that's
and the
youth level as well.
Youth level and professional level, no doubt.
And that trickles down.
Collegiate level, not so much.
But that trickles down. You have MLS attendance now third. It's only behind the NFL and baseball. It's moved ahead of the NBA. And if you go to percentage of capacity, it's second, only behind the NFL.
Right.
So I mean, it's growing, and it's Ron Patel brought up the point. It's really popular with millennials. They have disposable income now. Sports are changing, and I think you don't want to be on the wrong side of this when soccer takes off. And I think if you kill soccer at UNM, you kill any potential for the soul to be successful.
So here's I tried to contact Ron Patel and talk to him about this because it's just a weird idea that came in my mind. I said, UNM cuts soccer, off of their athletic thing. They become a club team, kind of like UNM hockey does. I'm sure you've heard about UNM hockey playing up at the ice rink. The Soul comes in, maybe as their sponsor, maybe as their partner. They use the stadium at UNM, so that facility doesn't go unused. They try to form a club sport, kind of like they do things in Europe with soccer, so it becomes a club situation. You're right. Millennials love soccer. You're right. Youth soccer, there's 10,000, I think Grammer talked about, signed up for youth soccer here in the metro area. There's only 1,300 that attended 1,300 average at UNM soccer. So of those 10,000, not all of them
Just top
are
25
going.
in the country,
That's
by
fine.
the way.
Fine, 1,300. So they had 1,300 people there, and that leads exactly to my point that soccer is not that popular at the collegiate level situation. It just isn't. Okay, if that's top 25, 1,300 people going, that's not that big of a number.
It's popular enough in Albuquerque to, I think, be self-funding.
But it's not self-funding, so they're
But we don't know that. Again, it goes back to because the sports have never been separated in the budget, Leroy. So you're just
I
assuming.
hear you. I think it's a pretty good assumption if 1,300 people are going there, and of those 1,300, how many are on the Spirit Pass? That they're not buying soccer tickets exclusively; they're buying that Spirit Pass, which gives you all Olympic sports for I think it's $50. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. I think this is a good thing for everybody involved. It sucks. I think it sucks that they have to cut sports. I think it sucks that they have to cut soccer. All right, but I don't have that. The thing is, it's going to happen. Sports are going to be cut. Soccer, I believe, is going to be one of them.
The great thing about soccer,
but this could be something where the Soul could come in and save the day, and maybe, just maybe, using this plan that they do exclusively in Europe, or all over the world. I think the United States is the only one that actually uses the universities for soccer in this way. Maybe they can start something here that other universities can patent it to, where they're all club sports and we move them away from the university level and they become clubs. And then they could grow and the MLS could use it as a feeder system. It's just a weird idea, but
it is very weird, and I think
yeah, it's weird because everyone else in the world does it.
Okay, Leroy, but the fact that you think that Albuquerque, of all places, could somehow be at the forefront of changing the U.S. soccer model to be like the European soccer model,
not?
That's crazier than your UNM turning into Texas A&M overnight idea.
Well, I would be happy with just being Texas Tech.
Yeah, I hear you. Here's the problem with your plan there. First of all, Jeremy Fishbein's not sticking around.
Oh, well.
And he's gone anyway, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hasn't Eddie Nunez essentially killed that program no matter what? Because now if it doesn't get cut, what's to prevent Jeremy from taking another job? He knows clearly his AD's not on his side. His program has no support from the university. And by the way, his name has come up before. It's come up in college talk and at the MLS level. So the first job that opens up, why wouldn't Jeremy leave? They've killed that program.
Well, I think here's why I don't necessarily think that's the case, because Jeremy has put his neck out there. When he sent out that email on Monday, he basically told any recruit thinking about coming here, we might get cut. We're fighting to keep this program alive. If he was just going to bolt, he probably, I think he keeps his mouth shut. I do think he's passionate about soccer. I think he's passionate about the state of New Mexico. If somehow soccer can be saved, I think he probably sticks around. But you do have to wonder the relationship. My guess is, all right, maybe Eddie Nunez isn't mad that Jeremy Fishbein has spoken out and has tried to rally the troops, but he's probably not happy about it either. Certainly Fishbein's not happy to find out that his sport might be cut. So what is that dynamic? What is that relationship? There could be some issues.
And then I saw, was it Jeff Grammer that tweeted that Fishbein's never even met the AD?
Yeah.
I found that a little asinine that an AD wouldn't have met all his coaches yet.
Anything's possible. Sebastian, unfortunately, I don't think we can settle it here. And Alden's doing this, and he's doing the dance, and it's not even counting now. And I know that Micah's got some people coming in for CageMinds.com. Thank you for being part of today's show. We'll have you on again, and we'll discuss this even longer if we need to when the cut is officially made. Until then, we'll be back right after this.
The Barley Pool, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa auto parts, like brakes and batteries I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service.
And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time.
Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss.
Here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks. Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. We got some highlights to start you guys out with. A lot to cover today. First off, let's go look back at this past Friday night's Bellator 197. We got a pair of highlights. Right to it, start out with Baby Slice versus Devin Brock. Big right hand behind the ear, knocked down by Baby Slice. Some heavy ground and pound. One more time, that big knockdown. He's a lot smaller than his dad, but still has that same power. Brock gave the back, gave up the neck. Baby Slice finds the submission victory. A big win there. Now we get to move on up to the main event where Brandon Gertz, on short notice, takes on former Bellator lightweight champion Michael Chandler. Gertz coming forward aggressively. Chandler wanting this fight on the ground. Definitely wanted it. Fakes with the big right hand. Here he gets in deep. Big slam. You do not want to post because Brandon Gertz separated his shoulder. He has his left arm awkwardly hanging out there. Perfectly able to get an arm triangle once you get around that left arm. Another victory for Michael Chandler. Next up, maybe he'll get that rematch with Brett Primus, and we'll see who the real lightweight champion of Bellator MMA is. That was Friday night. Saturday, we got a bunch of highlights from the UFC on Fox. That was in Glendale, Arizona. So let's get to those highlights. Here's a big right hand. Muslim Sakayev puts down Ricky Rainey. The sniper got sniped. That right hand crushes him, and a follow-up is just some nasty ground and pound. See it there 3 times. It was a perfectly landed hard shot. The referee definitely justified in the stoppage. Let's keep rolling. I think we have a submission up next for you guys in the middleweight division. Antonio Carlos Jr. gets Tim Boetsch to the ground. Some ground and pound opens up the submission, and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion is able to find that rear naked choke and make the American wrestler tap. Sinks that rear naked choke in, and it's just nasty feeling that squeeze. We also had some Albuquerque fighters on the card. Michelle Watterson got a win by split decision. Unfortunately, Carlos Condon ate an up kick. Here's the scramble. And Desperation Wrestling leads to this guillotine attempt. Short notice opponent. Nothing but respect to Alex Oliveira. Took this fight on less than 2 weeks' notice, replacing Matt Brown. A gritty effort in finding that submission over the former interim welterweight champion of the world. The main event, let's get to that highlight. We knew this was going to be a Fight of the Year candidate. Justin Gaethje was pounding away with leg kicks. And eventually that left cross finds the button from Dustin Poirier. Here he is swarming. Gaethje, a top caliber All-American wrestler. No thought of the takedown here because in the cage he's such a brawler. Poirier swarming, precision, finding the big shots. And eventually there, Herb Dean would step in, call off the fight. A huge win for Dustin Poirier. You believe him or Eddie Alvarez would be next to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, the lightweight division, always so exciting in the UFC. Now we have some stuff coming up this weekend. There's LFA 37 on Access TV this weekend. Pair of flyweight title fights. Both the 125 titles are on the line. In the co-main event, it's the vacant women's flyweight title as knockout artist Sabina Mazo takes on Shannon Sin. And then in the main event, South Dakota's own Sid Bryce, that one is on Access TV. And then we go over to Saturday night where you have the UFC Fight Night, 129 in Atlantic City. A great main card. You got Jackson Wink fighter Chase Sherman taking on Justin Willis on the main card. And then in the co-main event, a huge rematch that we're all looking forward to. Frankie Edgar, Cub Swanson. Frankie Edgar, is this returning too soon to the octagon after getting knocked out by Brian Ortega? I'm kind of worried about that. The main event, another 155-pound, that lightweight division, a top-ranked matchup, 2 top 10 fighters. You're going to see Kevin Lee versus Edson Barbosa. Kevin Lee, a aggressive, nasty, grinding wrestler who is very good at his rear naked chokes. Edson Barbosa, one of the best kickers that we've ever seen in the octagon. 2 TKOs by leg kicks. That flying knee that took out Badil Dariush. And the spinning heel hook that took out Terry Edom. So a great card there to look forward to on FS1 this Saturday night. And now we still have more to talk about for you guys because this Saturday I'm going to be live streaming the School of Hard Knocks Havoc in Hobbs 7 event on the Cage Minds Combat Sports News Facebook page with some commentary from myself. I'll be covering some local MMA this Saturday. And now we have a guest for you guys this week who's going to be in action next Friday in Minnesota. It's LFA 38. The co-main event is a welterweight contest. Bavon Lewis is in action, and he's talking to us right now. So let's welcome him in. Bavon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
All right. Well, I'm actually a middleweight.
Oh, middleweight.
So
Oops.
I'm going up a weight class. I'm a middleweight going into Contender Series co-main event. Yeah, I guess, excited about it. Most important, ready.
Most important, ready for a big fight. Going into this one in LFA, what's it like being an undefeated fighter? What's it like having that O and that target?
I guess it just feels like how it feels now. I don't know. Hopefully we don't lose it, but it is, I mean, having an O is good. It feels, I guess it's something about not being beaten. But I mean, if you could look through the whole career, you know, it's been a tough fight, so it doesn't, I know I've earned it, so.
Now, 4-0, early in that career, and we saw you on the Contender Series. What was it like, UFC Fight Pass, Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, all those eyes on Fight Pass? What was that experience like?
So it was like being at the front door, and you're like, right, you know, you're about to get into, I don't know, big game or Playboy Mansion or something, whatever. I'm about to go in there. I just got a little taste of what it was like. I mean, I'm sure it's still a little different going into the UFC, but I got a little taste of it. I like that. I felt a little spoiled. I want what the UFC has to offer us and more. You know, so Contender Series was a great experience. I would go back on there. You know, whoever gets a chance to fight on there, I say go to take it.
Now, heading into this one, Colin, hook body. What do you know about your opponent that you're going to see on fight night there at LFA 38?
I know enough to I know enough to where I feel confident in beating him in a set amount of time that I give myself, you know. I'm prepared for everything, anything, but at the same time in my head, just going down a little bit different. I mean, obviously, from how he wants it, but like, I already put it out there. It's my thing. It's my fight. I guess Minnesota's cold. That's what I heard. I heard Minnesota's pretty cold.
It's going to be pretty cold. Let's bring up that poster one more time real quick, because I think there's going to be a main event on that card. You guys are the co-main event. Yeah. Do you know anything about the main event? There's two heavyweights that are going to be there. The heavyweight titles on the line. And Maurice Green taking on the defending champion, Jeff Hughes. Have you seen these guys in action before?
Can't say that I have. Never seen them before. I honestly don't even know the whole card lineup. I just know that I'm the co-main event. That's about it. Don't know anybody before me. Don't know anybody after me. I mean, I guess, you know, if I see some people, I'll recognize them, but I honestly haven't really paid much attention to the card.
Do you find that a lot? Have you ended up in the dressing room and you end up recognizing people? We know this, we talk about it. It's a small-knit community.
Yeah.
Do you get surprised sometimes you're in a locker room getting ready and you'll bump into somebody you know?
I bump into somebody I know, or I bump into somebody that knows somebody that I know from, you know, years back, and I'm just like, oh, you know, small world. I'm all the way over here. I came from Atlanta, and I end up knowing somebody that I've trained, or knowing somebody that knew somebody that I trained with, 10 years ago or 8 years ago, you know?
So you have that small world of training. What's that like, training? It's a small world, but training in this big fish pond that you're here at the Jackson Wink Academy.
Yeah, that's, it's like, I guess you wake up every morning, and certain times it feels like you're at the combine. I mean, I've never been, but I'm hearing that's pretty hard. You know, the hard thing before you go to the NFL. So I get, you know, I wake up in the morning, you get that feeling, especially on the live days, just like, okay, what you gonna do today, Bavon? How we gonna do it today? You know, so yeah, it's like being in the big, I mean, it's pretty much you're in the big leagues, training with high-level dudes, you know, all the time, getting tested all the time, grinded all the time. So I just find a way to stay consistent, and I just do me.
Who do you find is your favorite sparring partner that you get the best work in with?
I get the best work in whenever I am sparring. I can't even let that secret go, man, because if I do, then they're gonna be smiling and stuff. I can't take that. It's all good. Just let it.
Okay. Well, then throw out some names that you can let us know. Who are you working with? Who do you really like to work with there?
I like working with my brother. The coaches I like working with, you know, Harry is one of the biggest coaches there. Grappling coaches I like working with. You got Coach Winklejohn, of course, and then Joey Villasenor, which is one of my favorite coaches. I feel like that it's not just always in the gym, it's outside the gym, and it's after the fight too. He still continues to be, you know, a coach and a little bit more.
What's it like learning from somebody like Joey Villasenor? It's not just the coach that's like, here, listen to it, but go watch my old tapes.
Yeah.
I can
so it's
show
like,
you. No,
with Joey, it's like, yo, look at this. It works, okay? I'm gonna show you proof that it works. I'm gonna explain to you how it works because I don't think you're gonna understand it this way. So let me talk about this a little bit more, all right? And then you're gonna get this technique. Because if you don't learn this technique, you're gonna get beat up. And if you get beat up, I told you so. So that's how Joey works.
And getting in that cage, I know you don't want to get beat up, right?
Exactly. I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get beat up.
So people think about that with fighters. You guys are professional fighters, it's competition, but how much of that is in your head? man, I don't want to get beat up on TV. I don't want to get
beat up at all. So I'm on the street, the best way I can go home. So if we're on the street and there's a fight, I'm gonna find the quickest route to get home. So whatever I gotta do to him, we're not gonna go on the ground. We're not gonna do this little stand-up thing. I gotta go home. So I'm learning to try and transition that over to the cage. Obviously, it's a little different. You know, you both show up for the same reason, and you know, that ends up being a fight. Yeah.
And we talked about the overall experience, the ooh, the awe, the big lights and show of the Contender Series. What do you think of your performance in the fight, though? Taking on one of the Urbina brothers. I mean, he has two brothers that have been in the UFC.
Right.
So you got live action, not just sparring, but live action with a guy, again, that's also been tested. What did that prove to you about yourself?
Man, after the fight, I was like, damn, man, what if that was Musasi? You know, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, damn, he probably would have he would have put in more work on me. Then I thought to myself, no, you could have done you end up being a fighter, you end up being your hardest critic. So I'm like, you know what, you could have done better. Now I realize I could have beat him a lot earlier. And just like I feel like I could beat him a lot earlier, I feel like I could beat Colin a lot earlier. And I guess what comes with that is just the mental, being ready. And this is the year. This is the year to me. I feel like this is the year. So.
You bring up Colin's name, so I want to touch on that real quick.
Cool, yeah.
3-1.
Yeah.
He likes to submit dudes. Nothing new. Somebody wants to take you down, I believe.
Yeah, right.
So what do you think about the fight? How's it play out?
Man, I was hoping it'd be a little bit like the last fight, but I mean, you got a tall body, they want to take you down. I don't know, man. Look, I don't know. Did we game plan for it? Yeah. Do I know what I want to do? Yeah. Do I see anything else happening like 3 rounds deep? I just can't see it right now, but I guess we'll see come fight night. But like I said, in my head, I want it to be a very early night. And I'm still coming to terms with accepting that. It sounds a little weird, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. That's how I'm feeling right now. That's how I've been feeling for a few weeks now.
Was there a coming to terms process with, you won by knockout. Dana White didn't select you. You didn't get the contract right away. You're not in the UFC at this moment. Was there a coming to grips with how that process played out?
I guess coming to grips is okay. So the way I took it, the way I absorbed all the contenders, I got to fight at a high level. And, it's a lot more organized, obviously, than certain things. It's just the feeling that I got. If it was the gloves, the shorts, or whatever, So coming to terms that I wasn't gonna get to put that, that similar gear on again, I was like, damn, Now I have to. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing now. I mean, I like it. Like I said, it's just a process. Fighting is fighting. Chose to do this because I wanted to fight. So if I, regardless it's in the UFC or for LFA or what other promotion, I'm still gonna fight. I'm still gonna accept a good fight, and show some skill. But I got over it because I want to go to UFC. I'm not gonna, oh man, I didn't go, so I'm gonna put on some bad performances and forget about the whole thing. I gotta go to UFC, so I gotta keep fighting. I gotta do it good.
I know you're hungry.
Yeah.
You're hungry to get back in there because you were stagnant all fall and winter. So what has this layoff done?
Turned me into a smart worker and a harder driller, consistent. Made me learn about being consistent. It's hard work, but it's consistency of, I guess, the type of work you're putting in. I can go to the gym and just look every day, or I can go to the gym and drill properly. I mean, you can go to the gym and, at one point I thought if I didn't leave the gym sweating or something, I didn't work. But it's not the case. It's martial arts. I don't always have to sweat. I mean, but forgot the question actually. But
how do you get the victory then next Friday?
Oh, next Friday I'm fighting. Next Friday. I'm so used to fighting on Saturdays. And then, the last time I fought on a Tuesday. But next week, I plan on, how to get it done. So I just be honest with you, I'm thinking like a 30-second victory. I'm feeling like a 30-second victory, man, so. But that's it.
He's been ultra impressive. You guys gotta believe me. Division I wrestler, and you stuck all his takedowns when we saw you live in Colorado.
And I wasn't even in, man, look, I'm probably gonna have to get off here soon. But I wasn't even in shape yet, and I definitely wasn't in the mental state I am now. So, like I said, this is the year, it's time to go. So
It's going to be his year in 2018. Thanks for joining me again this week.
Appreciate you, man.
You hired a lot of arguing today, earlier. Hopefully we can get the whole UNM thing sorted out. Hopefully I don't have to go break up a fight with Leroy and Sebastian. Michael Carlisle might be stuck in the middle, like literally. There'll be more Red Menace TV next week. Thanks for joining us this week.